Holy crap. Welcome back to Motivated Motorsports. It's been a minute. Let me tell you what's been going on. So, it truly has been a minute. I believe the last video I uploaded is probably 4 years ago now, and it was just about how I was going to make the S10 just a little bit faster. Trying to go into the 10s. I had a whole plan for it. I kind of laid out in that video kind of what I was going to do, and I actually did a ton to it, and I'll go through that here in just a little bit. We are back. Finally, we're back. So where have I been for the past 4 years? So like I said, yeah, the last video was going to be on the S10. There was tons of stuff that I wanted to do to it. I wanted to put a cage into it. I wanted to do a whole bunch of engine mods to it, put a new cam in it, intake, some other stuff. And yeah, just lighten it up a ton to try to get it into the 10s. And we actually did a ton of work to it. Actually so much that I just started running out of time. I was working pretty much every night on that thing. And then weekends, I had a buddy coming to help me work on it, and we were working pretty much around the clock trying to get it done there towards the end. And yeah, that's right when COVID hit. We finished the truck in time for the first race of the season, for the first test and tune, and COVID hit and shut it down. So we didn't even get to make one test and tune in it. Then I ended up taking it out. I was like, all right, well, since I can't take it to the track, I'll just go tune it a bunch, make sure that the tune's ready to go, perfect for when we do take it out to the track. Ended up driving it, and while I was tuning it at the higher RPMs, I was not thinking correctly, and the exhaust runs right down next to the oil filter, and I'm guessing that oil got real warm. So after that, the engine was pretty much cooked. We cooked a few of the rod bearings, a few of the main bearings, so everything was just done for. There was some pretty good heat scalding on some of the crank areas and stuff, so it was pretty much done. We didn't really have anything that we could do with it, so we ended up pulling that motor, or leaving that motor alone. We went and got another motor, rebuilt it, put all the cam, lifters, everything, intake, everything that we did to the previous engine, put it in a new engine, put it in there, got it up and running, got a little bit of testing with it, and then we took it to the track, and we actually ended up running a faster time. Not where we wanted to be, but it was faster. So the fastest time that I had previous, from the previous season, was a 12.6. So not super great, but not the worst. Taking this thing out, ended up running a 12.2 at 111. So mile an hour indicates that I have a significant amount in that. Looking at the 60-foot times, my 60-foot times dropped by, I want to say, like 4 or 5 tenths. And the reason for that is because I just kept pushing through the light. I couldn't bring it up past about 2,000 RPMs because it would just start pushing through the brakes and push through the beam. So couldn't get a good 60-foot time. So the next steps were going to kind of be put a trans brake in it, get better brakes, maybe a looser torque converter, so that way I could pull through the RPMs a little bit higher, launch a little bit harder. I do have some videos coming on some of that stuff. I have recorded some of it, so I'll be making some of those videos here shortly. So that takes me through, a year, and it's been about 4 years. So where the hell have I been other than that? About the same time that I was finishing up on that, we actually ended up finding a house. Me and my girlfriend had been looking for houses for a little bit. I wanted something with a little more land, so that way I could put an actual shop on it. If you guys remember, kind of in the previous videos, I was working out of just a small 2-car garage. Really didn't have any room to expand or do anything more than what I currently was. So I was really focused on finding some land so that way I could eventually build a shop on it. And that's exactly what we found. We found a nice big house, lots of room for the kids and her and everything else. And then a nice big backyard that I could put a shop on. So just like with everything that I do, I always gotta try to find the deals. We ended up finding a house just south of the town that we were living in that was in the process of kind of being remodeled in a weird way. And we basically just offered him a heavily discounted price to stop what he was doing, and we would finish it all and we would fix it. And the owner took it, and so we purchased it. And ever since then, I've kind of just been slowly working my way back through some of the stuff. One of the major things was we had to rebuild the entire back deck, which almost killed my best friend last year helping with that. Thanks, Matt. I'm sorry I gave you heat stroke multiple times working on that thing. But yeah, we ended up doing the deck. We've had to replace some septic stuff. We've had to replace hot water heater, AC. Yeah, it's just been kind of a little bit of a process to get everything working and back up. But we are finally to the point where I now am back to having free time a little bit more. So we're gonna start working in the garage a little bit more. The current garage situation is better in some ways than my old garage. I definitely have more square footage here. The garage here is actually a 3-car garage. This garage door is a 1-car door, and then kind of right over here you have a 2-car garage. And so yeah, the only problem with it is that the 2-car side that we're on right now over here isn't actually deep enough to pull a car in all the way. Kind of sucks. So if I want to work on something, I'm gonna have to turn it sideways, and that's probably what we're gonna end up doing here pretty soon. But we do have a full deep 3rd car spot over here. It actually goes all the way down next to the back of our house, goes all the way to the back of our house. So we have a nice little area over there for some fabrication stuff. We still have the S10 in here, we can work on it. And then I have another project, which I'll get to here in just a little bit, that'll probably be going in here pretty soon. So definitely a lot better than the previous 2-car garage that I was working out of. Another part of all of that is we ended up moving into this house, and I was still in the process of remodeling my old house to get it ready to sell. And so I had a bunch of tools still left over there. I had, well, a majority of my tools still left over there. And yeah, my garage ended up getting broken into. Went over there on a Thursday to go grab another load and walked into the garage, and most of my stuff was missing. So both of my toolboxes, my tool cart, my air compressor, my welder, plasma cutter, lawnmower, lawn mowing equipment, all of that stuff was gone. It was all stolen out of my garage. They ended up shoving a screwdriver into the door, popping the door, and loaded everything up and left. It was a real big bummer at the time. It was definitely a big bummer. So ended up having to work with insurance a bunch to get a whole bunch of tools to then be able to finish a bunch of stuff, which is always a hassle. But now I have a brand new toolbox, which is sitting over here. I got a brand new tool cart full of tools. So I don't have everything that I did have. I was not able to get a welder yet, or I haven't purchased a welder yet. I still am able to, I just haven't done it yet. Plasma cutter, some of the other stuff that I just haven't purchased yet. So the real reason that most of you guys are here is because I do car stuff. So why don't I quit jibber jabbering about everything else and get to what you guys really want to know. So where are all of the cars? So the very first video that I ever made was on the Vega. So do I still have the Vega? No, I do not. I ended up selling it. Like I said, the current garage situation that I'm in now just really wouldn't have been the correct setup for it. And again, having everything stolen, everything gone, and trying to fight with insurance to get it all back. I needed extra cash to be able to kind of help float some stuff. I don't plan to buy it back. I kind of have some plans that have changed and kind of stuff that I really want to do, which I'm going to go over here in just a little bit, but the Vega's gone. The 1500, I actually still have it. It has had some work done to it. I've had to replace the front differential in it because it was getting noisy. And then I want to do a bunch of mods to it, like to make it look a little bit better and kind of help it aesthetically. So those are going to be some future videos that I have coming up. But yes, I do still have the 1500. I ended up buying a 2011 Tahoe. So it's not really like a desirable color. It's like an off tan color. I can show it right now. And it had, you know, the typical, what I would call the typical old man car. It's a grandma getter, whatever you want to call it. Had like chrome door handles on it, had the chrome mirrors, all that work. So when I ended up buying it, I was looking for something that had relatively low miles just to kind of use as a daily driver with kids and everything. It helps out. And I ended up finding that thing, I think for 15,000, 16,000, something like that. But only had like 110 or 115,000 miles on it when I purchased it. So it was a really good deal. I'm thinking about making kind of a video series on it about how you can take those older looking vehicles that aren't necessarily what most people would view as desirable because they're not, you know, a white or a black or whatever color, and then how you can turn them into a way more desirable car, and actually have something that's cheaper, but then also at the same time a little bit nicer and still looks really good. And last but not least, as you can see, the old S10 is still with us. So like I said, I've done a bunch of work to it. I'm gonna make some videos on everything that I've actually done to it. And it's gonna be kind of a mixture of videos from my old shop to this one, kind of the stuff that I've done so far with it. But the plan for it is probably not going to move forward like originally planned. So I originally planned for this thing to be a weekend racer. I wanna go out, I wanna take it to the track, I wanna beat it up, I wanna do all that stuff and have something that would be fun to actually go compete and race in on the weekends at my local track that we have here. Kind of some things that I've realized over time, over the past, whatever, 2 or 3 months, is that I just don't have the time to be able to commit to racing like I used to. Kids activities, everything else, house, everything. I just don't have time to commit it. And that mixed with our local track here actually ended up shutting down this past year. And so basically I'm gonna have to drive upwards of a couple of hours to even get to a track. So that makes it even a little more unattainable. So my new thought is I want to have something that I can take that's fast, that I can go to the track with if I would like to, but also still have something that I can daily drive. This thing, I could daily drive it, 100% I could. It's still tagged, I can still drive it on the street, it's fine. Do I want to though? No, I don't. The reason for that being is that it is a loud shitbox, essentially. Sorry, pardon my French. But the thing is just so loud. It doesn't have any interior in it, so it rattles and it creaks and it bangs and it's just ridiculously loud. It also doesn't have any dash in it, so therefore I don't really have any speedometer. I don't have any of that stuff. I also don't have any way to like move air through the inside of the cab unless you had the windows down. And so, yeah, and it only has one seat. So I can go cruising, but like if I want to go, you know, pick up something from the store with one of the kids or go do something fun, I can't do it because there's only one seat in that thing. Again, a lot of you are going to say, well, you could add all that stuff back. Yes, I could add an interior back. I could add another seat. I could do all the work to put all the gauges in, blah, 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 blah. But I've always had a soft spot for S10 Blazers, and I have purchased an S10 Blazer. So the new plan is going to be, I'm going to swap everything that I've already done on this one. So a lot of the stuff is gonna directly transfer over to it. So the engine, trans, all that stuff is going to be transferred into the S10 Blazer, but I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff to the S10 Blazer. My goal for the S10 Blazer is not only to hit the 10s, but I would like to be able to eventually creep down into an 850 is kind of my goal for it, and have it be a street strip car, an actual, I can go take it down, cruise it, you know, do a Friday night cruise with a whole bunch of car guys if I want to, go pick up kids from school, go get groceries, blah, 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 all of that fun stuff, but then be able to also take it to the track and just beat the living crap out of it. So I have purchased an S10 Blazer. It's an S10 Blazer Extreme. It's actually on the trailer out in the backyard right now. I'm trying to clear some space in here in the garage before I can move it in here and actually really get to work on it. So that one's gonna be a little bit longer of a project. So the S10 is still here for a little while, but once I am ready to transfer everything from this over into the Blazer, that thing will then be probably sold as a roller to whoever wants it, whoever wants to make it into a drag vehicle. So that is the new plan. So yeah, it's been a minute, but I'm back, and there's gonna be some cool stuff coming. I hope you guys stick around. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we're gonna get this stuff back on the road and get to showing you guys some cool stuff again. Thanks for watching. See you next time.